You are D class personnel D9341. You were sentenced to death in 2023 for armed robbery and aggravated assault in Phoenix, Arizona. Then a man in a black suit walked into your cell and offered you a deal. You sign a form. Hui! You take a number. You serve out the rest of your sentence working for an organization that does not officially exist. If you survive 90 days, your sentence is commuted and your memory is wiped. Nobody has ever told you what happens if you actually make it to day 90, because nobody has ever made it to day 90. Today is day 3. You have been issued a clipboard, a pen, and a single instruction. Walk into the cell. Take an inventory of the contents. Do not blink. The cell is empty except for a concrete statue. The statue is roughly 2 meters tall. It is in the corner. It is looking at you. It is not looking at you. You! It is in a different corner now. You did not see it move. The lights flicker. The researcher on the intercom calmly reminds you that under no circumstances should you blink. You have been in the cell for 40 seconds. The blink reflex in healthy humans triggers roughly every 4 to 6 seconds. The math is not working out. You hear footsteps behind you. There are no footsteps behind you. The statue is now 18 inches from your face. You did not see it move because you blinked because you are human, and the last thought you have before your spinal column is folded into a shape it was not designed for is that the clipboard never had any paper on it in the first place. Test result: D9341, terminated by CP173. Hostile spatial relocation. Body to be incinerated. Record recovered. Next to class, please report to airlock 4. You are D class personnel D7712. Today is day 6. The bag they put over your head smells like bleach and somebody else's fear. They lead you down a corridor, through 3 security doors, and finally into a room that is warmer than it should be and smells, faintly, of sulfur. When they take the bag off, you are standing in front of a containment chamber the size of a small swimming pool. The pool is full of acid. Floating in the acid is a creature that is, technically, alive and is, technically, a reptile. But the part of your brain that is supposed to recognize what an animal looks like has politely stopped working, because there are no animals on Earth that are 8 meters long, covered in mismatched scales and human teeth, and openly making eye contact with you through the chemical haze. The researcher's voice comes over the intercom. Your task is to enter the containment chamber and retrieve a tissue sample from the subject's left flank. You are armed with a scalpel. You are wearing waders. You have time to laugh once before the creature speaks. It does not say anything intelligible. The sound is somewhere between a growl and a sentence, and your brain interprets it against your will as the word soon. You are not sure if this is a real translation or a mental defense mechanism. You decide it does not matter. You step into the acid. The creature smiles. You did not previously know that reptiles could smile. Test result: D7712, terminated by CP682. Time inside the chamber, 3 seconds. Tissue sample not recovered. Scalpel not recovered. Waders located the following morning in a different facility, somehow, by personnel who were not allowed to know how. You are D class personnel D0498. Today is day 11. You have outlasted 94% of your intake cohort, which sounds impressive until you remember that there are only 19 of you to begin with. They walk you into a clean white examination room. There is a chair. There is a desk. Sitting behind the desk is a man in a long black coat and a beeped plague doctor mask. He stands up when you enter. He bows politely. He invites you, in a voice that sounds like it is coming through several centimeters of damp cloth, to please be seated. He has a kind manner. He speaks to you about your symptoms. You do not have any symptoms. He tells you that you do. He sounds certain. The researcher's instructions came earlier. Allow the subject to administer his cure. Do not resist. Do not flee. Do not interrupt. He puts a gloved hand on your shoulder. He tells you not to worry. He says the disease is in its early stages. He says you are very lucky to be in his care. He produces a small surgical instrument from inside his coat. You have a perfectly clean bill of health. He has decided otherwise. You feel your heart slow down. You feel your skin cool. You feel a great calm settle into your chest, which is, you realize now, exactly the kind of calm a person feels when their pulse has stopped and they have not yet been informed of it. The plague doctor smiles, somewhere behind the mask. He tells you that the cure has worked. He tells you that you are well now. You stand up. You do not know why you stand up. Your legs are not the part of you that decided to stand up. The doctor opens the door. You walk through it. You shamble down the corridor with the other patients he has cured, the cure that nobody asked for, into a future that is technically not death and not life and not anything that a hiring manager would put on a resume. Test result: D0498, cured by CP049. Reclassified as CP049, Instance 2. Containment chamber assigned. Family notified that subject died of natural causes during routine medical procedure. You are D class personnel D1133. Today is day 14. You are starting to suspect that the Foundation does not actually have 90 different SCIEPs to test on you, and that they are simply cycling through the same handful in different rooms with different lighting. The new room is mostly empty. There is a metal door in the opposite wall, painted with rust stains that are not actually rust. There is a man standing in front of the door. He is wearing a stained grey suit. His skin is the wrong texture. It drips, slowly, in places, the way wet plaster drips before it falls off the ceiling. The man is smiling at you. The smile is not friendly. The smile has too many teeth and not enough lips. The researcher's instructions are simple. Stay on your side of the room. Do not allow the subject to touch you. Do not allow the subject to touch the walls. Do not allow the subject to touch anything, really, because the subject is what the Foundation calls a corrosive contact anomaly, and what you would call, if you had the vocabulary for it, a walking biohazard with strong opinions. He starts walking toward you. Slowly. His footprints sizzle. The floor underneath him is going soft. You back away. You back into the wall behind you. The wall has gone soft too. He is smiling wider now. The wall behind you is no longer solid. You feel cold air. You feel oil. You feel something that smells like burnt hair and old hospitals. You are not in the testing chamber anymore. You do not know where you are. The walls around you are organic. The light is the wrong color. The old man is still smiling. He is, technically, your only company. Test result: D1133, pulled into the pocket dimension of CP106. Recovery extraction, not authorized at this clearance level. Subject presumed lost. Foundation policy strongly advises that further D-Class do not, under any circumstances, ask what is inside the pocket dimension. You are D-Class personnel D8864. Today is day 18. You have a reputation now. Other D-Class avoid you in the cafeteria. They think you are unlucky. You think you are lucky because you are still here and they have not yet met whatever is in their next assignment. The room they put you in is dark. There are no lights. There is a thermal monitor on the wall, which is the only thing telling you that there is a humanoid figure in the corner of the room with you, breathing very, very quietly, sitting with its long arms wrapped around its knees, its long, pale face buried against its forearms. The researcher's instructions came in 2 parts. Part 1. Take a photograph of the subject's body, but not its face. The subject is a thin, hairless humanoid, roughly 2.5 meters in height. The subject is harmless if not observed. Under no circumstances are you to look at the subject's face. Under no circumstances are you to allow the subject's face to be visible to you in any medium, including, but not limited to, direct sight, reflective surfaces, photographs, video recordings, or thermal imaging. You take the photograph. You take it carefully. You aim it at the subject's torso. The flash goes off. The subject moves. The subject looks up. You do not look at the subject's face. The subject's face is, however, illuminated by the flash, and the illumination has bounced, very briefly, off the polished steel of the camera lens you are holding directly in front of your eyes. You see, for 1/4 of 1 second, what is under the long, pale fingers. Your eyes process it. Your brain catalogs it. The subject's mouth opens. The subject begins to scream. The screaming does not stop for the next 16 days, no matter how far you run, no matter how many continents you cross, no matter how deep the Foundation tries to hide you. The subject is coming. The subject is always coming. The subject has seen you because you have seen the subject, and the only way out of the equation is the one you are about to learn the hard way. Test result. D8864 made visual contact with SPU-096. Pursuit phase initiated. Subject. Relocated to bait facility in Greenland. Recovery of remains expected within 72 hours. Camera lens flagged for redesign. You are D-Class Personnel D2249. Day is day 21. You have statistically no business still being alive. The other survivors at your intake number do not exist. You have started to wonder if there has been an administrative error somewhere. The room they walk you into is the warmest room you have been in since you got here. The walls are painted pastel yellow. There is a children's playmat on the floor. There is, in the middle of the playmat, what you can only describe as an extremely large orange. The orange is moving. The orange has two small black eyes and a wide, cheerful smile. The orange is wiggling gently with what appears to be genuine excitement at the sight of you. The researcher's voice comes over the intercom. Initiate physical contact. Document any psychological effects. The orange makes a high-pitched, joyful noise and shuffles towards you on what are, you now realize, 4 tiny, squishy nubs. It wraps itself around your left leg in something that is technically an embrace. It is warm. It is sticky in a way that is, somehow, charming. It smells very strongly of strawberry candy. You laugh. You did not plan to laugh. You did not realize you still could. You spend the next 40 minutes sitting cross-legged on the playmat, hugging a small orange creature that occasionally rolls off your lap and giggles while the researcher on the intercom asks, in increasingly confused tones, whether you would like to be removed from the test chamber. You say no. You say it 3 times. You consider, briefly, whether they would notice if you never came out. Test result. D2249 exposed to CP999. No injuries sustained. Subject reports feelings of profound contentment, decreased anxiety, mild euphoria, and an emotional attachment to the subject that the Foundation psychologist has flagged as inappropriate for D-Class personnel. D2249 reassigned to weekly testing rotation with CP999 as a behavioral incentive. The reassignment is, according to D2249, the best thing that has ever happened to him. You are D-Class Personnel D5570. Today is day 27. The good news is, this is the safest assignment you have ever drawn. The bad news is that you do not know that yet because nobody has told you what the dials on the machine do. The machine fills an entire room. It is roughly the size of a small truck. It is made of brass and steel and exposed clockwork, and it looks, if you squint, like something a Victorian magician would have hidden a body inside. There is an input chamber on the front and an output chamber on the back. There is a single dial on the side of the machine. The dial has 5 settings. The settings are labeled rough, coarse, 1 to 1, fine, and very fine. The researcher hands you a wristwatch. The wristwatch is your grandfather's. You have no idea how the Foundation got their hands on your grandfather's wristwatch, and you decide, in the interest of your blood pressure, not to ask. The researcher tells you to place the wristwatch inside the input chamber and to set the dial to very fine. You do as you are told. Your dial clicks. Clockwork turns. There is a sound like a clock tower swallowing itself. The input chamber opens. Your grandfather's wristwatch is gone. The output chamber opens. There is a small pile of fine grey dust where the wristwatch used to be. The researcher asks you to step inside the input chamber yourself. You do not. Immediately. Understand. The researcher repeats the request. You understand now. You understand now. You look at the pile of dust. You look at the dial. You look at the door. You do not make it to the door. Test result. D5570 refined to powder via SCP 914. Very fine setting. Output mass. Approximately 71 kilograms of fine grey particulate matter. Material to be stored in Vault 8, pending further refinement experiments. Note from senior researcher. The dust appears to be sentient. Please verify. You are D Class Personnel D9001. Today is day 33. You are the longest surviving D class in your facility. You have a small private cell now. You have access to the gym. You have a name tag with your number on it that the guards actually use when they speak to you. You have started to suspect that you are being saved for something special, which is, you have learned, the worst possible thing for a D class to suspect. They walk you into a room. The walls are white. There is a glass display case in the middle of the room. Inside the glass case is a porcelain mask, slightly cracked, painted with the face of a smiling man. The mask is, somehow, looking at you. The mask is not capable of looking at anyone. You decide not to think about that. The researcher's instructions are simple. Open the case. Pick up the mask. Place the mask on your face. Document any subjective experiences. Do not, under any circumstances, allow another person to touch the mask once you have put it on. Oh, you open the case. The mask is heavier than it should be. The porcelain is warm. You put the mask on your face. Or mask fits. The mask has always fit. The mask was made for you. You realize distantly that you are smiling. The smile is not yours. The smile is the mask's. The mask is wearing you, and not the other way around. Your hands move without your permission. Your voice speaks without your permission. You hear yourself complimenting the researcher on the cut of his suit. You hear yourself asking about his daughter, by name, even though you have never met him before. You hear yourself laughing, and the laugh is not yours, and the laugh goes on for slightly too long. The researcher backs away from the glass. The researcher reaches for the panic button. The researcher does not reach the panic button. Test result, D9001 merged with CP035. Oh. Subject deceased. Mask now considered occupied. Containment procedures updated to reflect new host identity. The mask sends its regards. That is what happens to every D-class who walks into the wrong cell. The Foundation tells you it is a job. The Foundation tells you you are paying your debt to society. The Foundation tells you if you are lucky enough to make it to day 90 that you will walk out a free man with a clean record and a new identity. The Foundation has never specified what they mean by free. The Foundation has never specified what they mean by man. Drop a comment telling me which SCP you would actually survive a test with and which one you absolutely would not, and the next video will be the one most of you ask for.